Welcome back to the second half of our evening. I don't know what experience everyone else is having, but for me, it almost feels like we've done a whole series already. It's felt very rich and very full. So I'm not going to say too much now. So during this series, as Harsharatna said, we're going to be looking at Mettā Bhavana as a meditation practice, and we're going to be looking at that from a number of different perspectives and angles that Harsharatna is going to take us through. But I'm also wanting to look at metta outside of meditation. So if Sthiranāga could bring up our first slide. So these are some of the areas that I'm hoping to open up and explore a little over the next couple of months. So looking at the importance of metta, looking at the basis of ethics in our practice of metta, particularly our practice of metta outside of meditation. And then I want to look at developing self-metta and metta and friendship, and looking at working with metta with difficult people, but also in situations. So bringing metta to situations, not necessarily situations with other people, but just situations that we find ourselves in, and how we can bring metta to bear. Right, thanks for that, Sthiranāga. So we're also going to have a couple of full moon pujas. So we've got a couple of full moons in the 2 months. So we're going to have some ritual as part of that, and we will have some very inspiring readings around metta for those pujas. Yanamich has set the bar extraordinarily high for our guest meditation leads, but we are hoping to have some other meditation leaders come and lead the Mettā Bhavana for us. And we'll also be having a talk from Padmavajra, who's from the Padmaloka Men's Retreat Centre and is part of the men's ordination team, and has a very, very long-standing practice of metta. So he's going to be coming along and giving us a talk. So along with Harsharatna's experience guidance on cultivating metta through meditation, we're going to look at different ways in which we can develop a sense of metta so that it really starts to permeate our very being and become more and more of that natural response to people and situations. So I wanted to give us another a view of metta, and this one's from Sangharakshita. So if we could have another slide, Sthiranāga. So this comes from Sangharakshita's book, Living with Kindness. So I'm just going to read this out. So metta is friendliness as we know it, carried to a far higher pitch of intensity than we are used to. In fact, it is friendliness without any limit whatsoever. Metta is present in the feeling you have for your friends, but it includes the intention continually to deepen and intensify whatever element of disinterested goodwill there is within it. Any friendly feeling, any friendship contains the kernel of metta, a seed that is waiting to develop when we provide it with the right conditions. Thanks, Sthiranāga. And it's those conditions that I hope to be able to just point us towards over the coming weeks, so that we can take that kernel, that seed of, in a way, ordinary friendliness, and just help it to grow into the mighty oak tree of that definition that Harsharatna shared with us earlier, of metta being how a mother would protect her only son, or that all-embracing mind of love, or that boundless heart. So when I hear phrases like that, that just seems so out of reach. So what we're going to try and do, what I'm hoping to try and do, is to just help us to start bridging the gap between, as Sangharakshana describes, that kernel of friendliness towards that great love, the great love that that metta is. So one more slide. So I wanted to just make some suggestions really around how to approach this series really. And I liked what Jana Mitra said about when we're in society, there's a tendency to do what we're supposed to do. Well, I kind of like suggesting that you don't necessarily do that over the next couple of months, that you just allow yourself to bring some of your own creativity to your practice. Metta is one of those fundamental meditation practices, like the mindfulness of breathing, that you will be taught almost as soon as you walk through the doors of any of our Triratna centers around the world. And there can be a sense that it's a basic practice. It's one of the things you just have to sort of learn before you get onto the real stuff. And actually, that's a long way from the truth. In fact, metta is extraordinarily fundamental and can take us all the way to awakening. So we'll be giving lots of suggestions from Harsharatna around meditation, from me doing stuff off the cushions. So just try those out. Some may work, some may not work. And I'd really encourage you to use the groups that we'll have every week just to share your experiences. But let us know as well if you have different suggestions, different ideas. You can send those in to us. So send them into the Buddhist Center, our email address on the slide, and you know, the team, it's not just going to be me and Harsharatna, but the team will see if we can respond to some of those, either as part of the class, or you know, by tailoring what we're going to present over the next 2 months. So I really kind of encourage you to do that.